On a humid August night in Austell, Georgia, a fire captain radioed in a routine call. A vehicle was burning at the tree line where Joe Jerkins Boulevard meets Landers Street, a strip of asphalt bordered by kudzu and pine, the kind of place people drive past without ever looking twice. The crew expected a stolen car, an insurance job, maybe a joyride gone wrong. What they found instead would take a week to fully understand and 3 years to bring to a courtroom. Less than 200 feet from the smoldering car, hidden beneath a mound of snapped tree branches and debris, was the body of a young woman.
I did.
Okay, and what was the distance there?
That measured at 6.4 miles, I believe.
So essentially equal distance between those two areas of interest?
Yes.
Now, I know we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but again, it being a new day, did you create clips from that racetrack video?
I did.
Okay, and in doing so, what was kind of the purpose?
There were multiple views. I requested all of the cameras from the exterior of this particular racetrack. That's done through a law enforcement portal that racetrack allows us to access. So I'd made the request, they responded to the request, and I was able to download the footage. And then I found that there were multiple views that were significant in seeing the movement of the operator of the vehicle, the vehicle's movements, and what the...
It is the record, but a verdict is a conclusion, not a story. Behind it sits a relationship that began at a beauty conference, a whirlwind romance that moved a man across state lines in a matter of weeks, and an ending so violent, so deliberate, and so eerily unhurried that even seasoned investigators struggled to describe it. There was also a wrinkle the defense pounced on, a near-total absence of DNA, and there was a single scrap of paper dropped in the dirt that connected a name to a body.
All right, everyone have a seat, please. I'd ask our foreperson to please rise. Have you reached a verdict? Was it unanimous?
Yes, Your
Honor. Has the verdict been filled in, signed, and dated by you?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you'd hand it to the bailiff, please. You can have a seat. You can have a seat. All right, it appears that the verdict form is in order.
Roller skating had roared back into the culture, part nostalgia, part athleticism, part pure joy, and its stars were overwhelmingly young black women who built real followings out of nothing but talent and consistency. Beauty Couch was one of them. She lived in Austell in Cobb County, a quiet suburb west of the city, the kind of place with strip malls and church parking lots and long tree lines that swallow sound. It's important to hold two truths at once here. Online, Beauty's life looked like freedom itself. Bright, fast, weightless.
The body was found burned and buried under a pile of debris in Austell back in 2023. Just feet away, police also found a piece of paper which turned out to be a traffic ticket registered to Jacques. That ticket included his license plate number, which police were able to track down and found him and his car in Louisiana. Police body camera video played in court shows that arrest.
Spell your first name, man.
M-Y-K.
M-Y-K.
A-E-L.
A-E-L.
W-A-T-E-R-S.
Waters is your last name?
I elected to run the name and date of birth, Mikhail Waters, that was provided to me, during which time I learned that that person did not exist.
Then they searched Jacques' car and found several pieces of evidence, including a pair of bloody tennis shoes. An investigator testified Thursday that the blood turned out to be Jacques and not the victim's, but how it got there is...
She amassed more than 140,000 Instagram followers. Some counts put it closer to 150,000, not by chasing outrage or controversy, but by being genuinely good at something that made people happy. Just weeks before her death, she had gone from performing to teaching, leading a roller skating class for fans in Riverdale, Georgia. Think about that. At 22, she was already turning her passion into something she could give away, bringing strangers into the joy she'd built. That is the future that was stolen.
What pump area are we looking at?
It's one of the more, it's a fuel pump closer to Windy Hill Road. And the vehicle's entering that pump area and will stop at the front pump in that view.
Okay. And then looking at the right side of the screen, the white vehicle that can kind of be seen dead center, is that the same vehicle that's seen in the middle on the left side?
It is. It's just two different camera perspectives, but I thought it was important to put them together so that all the activity is seen from two different angles.
And when we talk about that activity starting with this clip, what is the activity that was being noted during the 2 minutes and 45 seconds?
I'm going to object to narrating the video. If they can play the video, the jury can see it, but I don't think there's really proper for him.
Sit with that timeline for a second, because Speed is a character in this story. From a chance meeting to a cross-state move to a shared life, all inside a season. To an outsider, it can look like romance, like devotion, like a man so smitten he'd upend his whole life for a woman he barely knew. But investigators and behavioral experts will tell you that the same speed can be something else entirely, an accelerant.
For the indictment, arson in the second degree, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty. On count 5 of the indictment, concealing the death of another, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty. On count 6 of the indictment, tampering with evidence, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty. This May 22nd of 2026, signed foreperson. I'm sorry, I cannot read the name.
That's Maria.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Anything else from the state before we release the jurors?
Nothing from the state, Judge.
Now, we would respectfully request the jurors to be polled, please.
All right. When the clerk calls out your name, if you would please stand.
And what he did tells us more than any confession ever could. Here is what the timeline looks like when you lay it out flat. By August 22nd, 2023, Beauty Couch had not been seen. She had a car she drove regularly. She had routines, a following, people who expected to hear from her. And then, silence. The next day, August 23rd, the Austell Fire Department was dispatched to a brush fire near Joe Jerkins Boulevard and Lander Street. What they found was not brush. It was a car, fully engulfed, burning at the edge of the woods. Firefighters knocked the flames down. While processing the scene, investigators found a traffic citation lying in the dirt near Beauty's body. Not a wallet, not a phone, not a dramatic confession. A ticket. And that ticket carried a name, Eugene Louis-Jacques. It also listed a vehicle and a tag number tied to him. Think about the cold logic that had governed everything up to that point. The car gone, burned, the body hidden, burned. An attempt on both fronts to make Beauty Couch disappear and to sever any physical link to the person responsible.
Was that your verdict in the jury room? Was it freely and voluntarily made by you? Is it still your verdict? Thank you. Have a seat. Was that your verdict in the jury room?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Have a seat. Was that your verdict in the jury room?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you? Is it still your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that your verdict in the jury room? Was it freely and voluntarily made by you? Is it still your verdict? Have a seat. Was that your verdict in the...
Investigators tracked his white Nissan Altima the modern way through automated license plate reader records, the network of cameras that quietly logs tags on highways and intersections across the country. Cell phone location data placed him near the scene on the day Beauty disappeared. Piece by piece, the electronic trail drew a line from the wood line in Austell to a man heading out of Georgia. On September 15, 2023, the search ended. Louis-Jacques was arrested out of state in Louisiana, and it was in that arrest, captured on a deputy's body camera, that the coldest moment of the entire case was recorded, not the fire.
So we'll pause it just at the end there where the timestamp shows 10, 59, and 26 seconds. I know you made particular clips, but did you look at all of the racetrack videos surrounding this particular vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. Do you ever see this vehicle pumping gas?
No.
Right. Do you ever see any additional humans entering or exiting the vehicle?
No.
Okay. And then what is, because this quality video isn't as good as some of the other video we see, what is this structure in between the two gas pumps?
I believe it to be a trash container, a trash bin.
We'll finish this last second here. All right. Next, from states 271, we are going to play what's called combined airbag trash. So the timestamp of the last view that we saw at the...
He wasn't just fleeing, he was rebuilding as someone else. The physical case, though, had a hole in it, and the prosecution was honest enough to admit it. There was no forensic evidence directly tying Louis-Jacques to the killing. His DNA was not found on Beauty's body. Her blood was not found on his clothing or in his car. In a stabbing this savage, the absence of blood evidence is genuinely striking, and it became the center of gravity for the defense. So, what did the state actually have? It had the traffic ticket at the scene.
You? Is it still your verdict? Have a seat. Was that your verdict in the jury room? Was it freely and voluntarily made by you? Is it still your verdict? Was that your verdict in the jury room? Was it freely and voluntarily made by you? Is it still your verdict? Would you like to look at the verdict form?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. All right. Members of the jury, thank you for your service. You have now concluded your service on the jury. You are no longer subject to those instructions I have given you about not talking to anyone about the case. You are free to talk to anyone you like about...
Lumpkin leaned hard into the missing DNA, arguing that police had zeroed in on Louis-Jacques for the oldest reason in the book, because he was the boyfriend, and had built a case on inference rather than science. He went further, suggesting some of the evidence may have been planted, and he pointed at that traffic ticket as his prime exhibit. Why, he asked the jury, would a killer so careful that he left no DNA behind be careless enough to drop a citation with his own name on it right next to the body? It's a real argument. It deserves to be stated fairly, and it was the crux of the defense.
The super chats, thank you so much for all the gifted memberships. When you say verdict, We all in so many trials. Which one you talking about? Are you talking about for Jordan? Or you talk about the verdict for this one? For Jordan, I want to make sure I got it for this trial. Oh, I don't want to see it yet. I can't go do that. I can't do that yet. If you watch the verdict, don't tell us. We still moseying on through this. Jordan sentencing, we are still waiting on. I will put a note in here to not post the verdict. Mods, if y'all see anybody posting the verdict, can y'all please?
Everything that follows here is interpretation, claim, and theory, informed by patterns behavioral experts describe in cases like this, not established fact. Hold it that way. But look closely because the pattern is the whole point. Start with the number. More than 80 stab wounds. In the language of forensic behavior, this is called overkill, violence that vastly exceeds what is required to cause death. You do not need 80 wounds to kill someone. You need a fraction of that. So the surplus is not about killing.
All right, have a seat, everyone. We need to schedule sentencing, and what I propose in that regard is I'll have my chambers reach out to you guys with regard to scheduling.
Because the rage, however monstrous, is at least human. Rage is hot. What came after the rage was cold, and that is the frightening part. Watch the sequence. First, an explosion of uncontrolled violence, and then control, deliberate, patient control. The body was not left where it fell. It was moved into the trees and covered over with branches, an act of concealment that takes time and presence of mind. The car was driven to a spot and set on fire, a calculated attempt to destroy evidence.
We be in all these trials, so I don't have a problem with being in all the trials. I just don't want nobody to spoil it for me. So if you catch it before I catch it, just delete it because I want to finish it. Plus, y'all ain't got nothing to do but this. All right, here we go. And we're listening to it on fast speed.
Understood. Okay.
The 81 wounds are horrifying, but they are the kind of horror we can, at some level, comprehend as loss of control. The truly chilling thing is everything that came next. The branches arranged with care, the fire lit with purpose, the false name delivered without a tremor. The violence was a moment, the calm was a decision, made over and over for weeks. Theory, and it is only that. What a jury may have seen in that body camera footage was not a broken man at all, but a composed one. And composure, in the aftermath of something like this, is far more terrifying than any scream. What this story leaves us with is a warning dressed as a love story. Beauty Couch did not die at the hands of a stranger in her comments or a predator in a parking lot. She died at the hands of the person she had trusted most, the one who moved across the country to be near her, who sat in the passenger seat, who knew her routines. The danger wore the face of devotion, and when it did not turn in a fit of visible madness. It turned coldly, and then it cleaned up after itself, and then it calmly gave a fake name to a deputy.